Is living in Yaoundé going to be cheaper than living here in Houston, Texas? In a previous video, I shared a monthly budget for Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. But today I wanted to break down the budget for Yaoundé and see if life there will be cheaper than life here in Houston, Texas. If this is of interest to you, make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. That way you don't miss any of our video progress as we prepare to move back to Africa. All right, so let's get into our budget for Cameroon, specifically for Yaoundé. Like I said in the previous video, I did the same budget breakdown for Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, but today I wanted to do a breakdown for Yaoundé, Cameroon. If you don't know yet, we are considering both cities, Yaoundé and Abidjan. I'm going to link a video below where I explain why these two cities and why we are considering Blaxiting in the first place. Okay, so let's get into the numbers. So first thing you're going to notice is that we don't have a lot of big numbers here in this budget, right? The only thing that surpasses $1,000 is rent. And even with that, I really overestimated in here. So the budget for Cameroon is based on my husband's own opinion, based on him growing up in Cameroon, as well as his cousin who has a family structure that is similar to ours. So having 4 kids, husband and wife in a household. So I had her check my budget and give me ideas of, okay, how much I can expect to spend. I also have her notes here on my phone. So I'm going to read through what she said and what we decided to put on our own budget. Okay, so for rent, she actually said about 175,000 to 350,000 francs, which is reasonable, right? For a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom villa, a house, right? So my husband was like, you know what, let's put a little more, and we decided to double it pretty much because we're like, okay, she said it depends on the neighborhood. So we're like, okay, what if we were to have something that is over the top? Again, that's not necessarily what we want, but we're like, you know what, it's better to put more than not enough. So if we were to put 350,000 francs here, it would equate to about $500. Okay, so we're like, you know what, let's double it or even more, and we decided on 750,000, which is a lot of money. But we're like, you know what, just in case, let's just do it that way. In terms of power and water, she said about 47,000 francs a month. And in case you don't know, as of the recording of this video, $1 is about 621 francs. Okay. So the local currency is the francs. So internet and cable, about $25,000 for a package. Like I mentioned in the previous video, for us, we don't really use cable that much. We count on Prime, Hulu, and Netflix and all of that. So using a VPN is going to be very essential for us. So that's $8, which is about 5,000 francs. Google Fi as well to keep our US numbers, so that's $20 per line. So my husband and I, that's $40 per month. In terms of insurance, that's an approximate number that my husband did the research and all of that, and we decided on about $550 for the plan that would cover all of us as a family. In terms of groceries, she said, let me look at my notes here. For groceries, for her, food for the market and everything, she would say about 150,000 francs. So I boosted up to 200,000 just because, we might buy more things at the supermarket than she would, maybe, or maybe not. Just never know. So I just decided to put a little more here, which is about $300, guys. That's really not a lot of money. Gas for cars, she put 80,000. Actually, she said for 2 cars. But I'm like, you know what? Let me put 80,000 for 1 car. We don't count on having 2 cars like we do here in Houston. Just 1 car is more than enough. So 80,000. In terms of tuition, she shared that we could have the kids in private school and it would cost between 750,000 to $1,100,000 per child, depending on if it's Yaoundé or Douala, or depending on the school as well, including uniforms, books, all of that. So I went Based on those numbers for all 4 kids, that's in total about $600 per month. In terms of staff for at home, she said 75,000 for a professional cook at the house, 60,000 for a driver, and 50,000 for a nanny at the house. Okay, so that's about 185,000 here, and that's about $300, y'all. $300 for to have 3 full-time staff members with you at home: driver, cook, and nanny. In terms of eating out, you're going to notice that it's a lot cheaper than in Abidjan. I put a total of 200,000. I think in Abidjan it was 400,000 that I put in there. In terms of hair as well, guys, here's what she said. For the girls and you, it will cost about 25,000 francs. The kids are braided at 3,000 francs. 3,000. Let's see how much this is in US dollars. 3,000 francs is $5 to get your kids braided. I'm speechless. Yes. So, for me and the kids, so let's say the girls get their hair braided, let's say once or twice a month. Let's say twice a month. So that's 10,000 each. And then me, like this hair, for example, I did it in Abidjan and it was 15,000 francs. So yeah. And it's not an every month thing. You can go with it for 2 months if you want, or you can do once a month if you want to. Leisure for kids, she said about 30,000 for all of 4 of them and 50,000 for my husband and I doing one activity. So that's what I put in there. And here, random expenses, just like I said in the previous video. Here's the thing. For Cameroon, I'm going to say that the random expenses might be higher than in Abidjan because we know more people in Cameroon. We have more family members and friends in Cameroon than we do in Abidjan. Okay, we don't have family members in Abidjan, but we have a few friends. In Cameroon, we have the whole of my husband's family, most of his family's there, and most of his friends as well. Okay, so I might have to adjust these numbers a little bit just because there might be more unexpected or maybe less. You just never know. And then storage for Houston. So these numbers are the same for Abidjan as well as Yaoundé. I didn't change those just because there's a lot of unexpected. There's a lot of money you have to put in your unexpected emergency fund just in case something happens. So the grand total for Yaoundé is 4,156 US dollars. And that's with a high rent, which we probably won't pay that. But let's say we go with my husband's cousin's number and let's say we go for even something more conservative of 500,000, which is still a big house. And that will be $800 and the total would be less than $4,000. Guys, for the budget for Abidjan, I think we were at about 6,000 something, and at the lowest, about 4,000 something if I were to homeschool the kids or something like that. But let's say 6,000 for Abidjan and about 4,000 for Yaoundé. So a lot cheaper than Houston, Texas, and even cheaper than Abidjan. So we haven't decided yet on where we're going, but if we were to go just based on how much money we can save because of how little we'll have to spend, Yaoundé is a definitely win right here. Okay, so let me know your thoughts. If you live in Yaoundé or even in Douala, let me know what are your thoughts about these numbers. Again, I'm probably putting a lot more than you would if you lived there. But that's just how I am. I just like to be on the safe side of things. I like to overplan and have more just in case instead of not having enough money to cover all these expenses. So let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts here if you live there or if you're from Cameroon or even if you're from Côte d'Ivoire? Let me know what you think about this budget. And in the next video, I'm going to do a little quick comparison between Cameroon and Yaoundé. If you haven't seen the video about our monthly budget to Abidjan, I'm going to link it in the description of this video. All right. If you like this video, make sure you like it. So you click on that button, you share it with a friend, and most importantly, you subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of our progress and you'll get to see where we decide to travel to and move to next year. Until next time, bye.